It's been weeks since Sri Lankans have been protesting against taxes that were imposed by the government in line with steps taken to meet the prerequisite IMF conditions for loan approval. People, however, say that Colombo's call has only worsened their plight as they were already struggling to make their ends meet. The government, which has time and time again tried to defend its decisions, now stands at crossroads. For one, it faces a colossal challenge in the form of swelling protests by the day, and another, it needs to do debt restructuring and take tough tax calls to ensure it receives adequate support to get its finances up and running.
A large number of Sri Lankans cutting across professions took to the streets of Colombo and demonstrated against the soaring living costs. The island nation of Sri Lanka has been grappling with its worst ever financial crisis that has taken a toll on almost every aspect of people's lives. A number of similar protests have been seen in past 2 months. Inflation that has been hovering over 50% for months, a massive shortage of foreign exchange, and steep recession have seemingly pushed Sri Lanka into an unending wave of crisis. The Sri Lankan government, however, faces even bigger challenge, for the country cannot emerge from crisis unless it takes tough financial calls and establishes a satisfactory fiscal foundation. As per IMF rules, a country that applies for IMF bailout program has to present debt restructuring model as guarantee. In a bid to meet these prerequisites, the government hiked the country's income taxes by up to 36% and raised power tariffs by 2/3 a few weeks ago. People on the other side said they were suffering due to the poor policy making and imprudent fiscal decisions of the government.
So in the central bank today we are functioning only very limited functions related to the treasury and government treasury bill and bond auctions. So we have a total staff of about 1,250, out of which 1,200 are actively engaging in this trade union action.
The government has been finding it hard to contain the wave of protests that has already spiraled out of control in many regions. Recently, thousands of members from 40 trade unions didn't either go to work or took sick leave to protest against the government and demanded rollback of taxes. While ships encountered delays at Sri Lanka's major port as a result of workers suspending operations, railway drivers refused to report to work, stranding travelers. The administration delayed exams because most teachers stayed at home and closed the schools. Post offices and state-run banks were also closed. Even though patients were being turned away from government-run hospitals, necessary services like emergency care continued to be provided.
At the moment, the strike action is going on in every hospital of the country, and we have accepted the strike action from maternity hospitals, children's hospitals, cancer hospitals and other specialized care units, so that the people, the effects to the patients will be minimized.
Sri Lanka, no doubt, has made progress since it touched the lowest point of the crisis earlier when Gotabaya Rajapaksa was at the helm of Sri Lankan affairs. However, the citizens of the country haven't recovered from the massive financial blow they endured during the course of the crisis. They say their life has become increasingly unstable in past couple of years, and if the government doesn't roll back its calls, they will have nowhere to go to and no one to look to.